Honorable Taiwo.
Thank you, sir. Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleague, Representative Taiwo Oluga is my name. I'm from Osun State. I speak on behalf of all the people of Irewole, Ayedade, Ishaka Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise this afternoon to present a petition on behalf of one of my constituents who was once in the military and was asked to go on absence leave without payment for more than 5 years now. He was waiting, and I think he wants to come back to serve his fatherland, and he required the intervention of this honorable house to do investigation and to get him back. Mr. Speaker, with your leave, can I submit the petition, sir?
Yeah, please lay your petition. Any other petition? Motion of urgent public. Well, all petitions refer to the Committee on Public Petitions. Motion on urgent public importance, Honorable Eden.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Orowenam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning under Order 8, Rule 4, matter of urgent public importance. It is an urgent need to curb the activities of illegal crude oil refineries in the Niger Delta region to end the suit currently experienced in the region. Mr. Speaker, I seek the leave of the House to move that our relevance rule be suspended for me to take this motion as a matter of urgent public importance. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Chinedu, do you want to second?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Chinedu Benjamin Obidigwe, member representing Anambra East and West Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion of urgent public importance moved by the Right Honorable Idem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Idem, move your motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Orowenam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. The urgent need to curb the activities of illegal crude oil refineries in the Niger Delta region to end the suit currently experienced in the region. The House aware that Section 44 Sub 3 and Item 39, Schedule 2 of the exclusive legislative list of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, vests the control and management of natural resources and hydrocarbon operations on the federal government for the common good and benefit of citizens. Further aware that the economy of Nigeria has over the years been premeditated and totally dependent on oil from the Niger Delta region of the country. Concerned that the Niger Delta region of the country has over the years been plagued by the activities of illegal oil refineries at the detriment of the lives of residents and the economy of the country. These activities have compounded the age-long problems of environmental pollution and degradation caused by the swimming and exploration activities of the multinational oil companies operating in Niger Delta, contributing to the dramatic changes in the weather pattern being experienced in the region. Further concern that these activities have sabotaged economic activities of residents of the area, caused severe health hazard on citizens, robbed the country of critical revenue, and aggravated the problem of pollution in the region. Worried that a particular case is the suit currently suffered by citizens and residents of Rivers State and the environs in the last 3 years as a result of incomplete burning of organic matter by these illegal refiners. Disappointed that some security agencies and some influential individuals have been alleged of complicity in the activities of these illegal refineries in the Niger Delta region of the country. Worried that if this trend continues unabated, the Niger Delta region will be at risk, at health risk, and economic activities will be crumbled. The House resolved to mandate the Inspector General of Police and other relevant security agencies to immediately clamp down on the activities of these illegal refineries in the Niger Delta region of the country and prosecute those found culpable. 2, mandate the Federal Ministries of Petroleum Resources and Environment to urgently develop and implement modalities to clear off the suits currently experienced in Rivers State and other parts of the Niger Delta region. 3, mandate the House Committee on Police Affairs, Navy, Army, Defense, and Interior to investigate the alleged involvement of security agencies in the illegal oil refining in the Niger Delta region of the country. 4, mandate the relevant House committees to ensure compliance and report back to the House within 6 weeks. Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I so move.
Vincent, please second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues. My name is Honorable Vincent Ekene Ofumelo. I represent Oyi Aya Melon Federal Constituency. I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague, Honorable Idem. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, honorable colleagues.
Those in favor of Honorable Idem's motion on illegal refineries. You have an amendment? Honorable Luke. What's your amendment?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Onofio Akpan Luke. I represent the people of Etina and Nsiribom Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend my brother, my colleague, Honorable Unyimidem, for bringing that motion, which is timely. Mr. Speaker, my amendment is to the effect that without justifying the illegal refining, my amendment is to the effect that if you don't see what to do, you do what you see. So, Mr. Speaker, my amendment is that we should insert a prayer in that motion to get the NNPC, Department of Petroleum Resources, and then Ministry of Petroleum to give licensing for modular refineries, sir, and then to equally encourage from NNPC to encourage the establishment of modular refineries. If an NPC can vote 600 and something billion naira for road construction, there is nothing wrong for an NPC to allocate funding, Mr. Speaker, to support the establishment of modular refinery so that the individuals engaging in these activities, we can copy it. But let us use the opportunity to commend the governor of Rivers State, who has risen to the occasion to charge the government apparatus in Rivers State to ensure that the activities of illegal refineries are being curbed. And then we ask that all hands must be on deck to be able to check this. Those are my humble submissions, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Toby.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Guajiba Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I hereby second the amendment moved by Luke, and I would like to have a further and additional amendment.
Point of order. Point of order. Mr. Speaker, point of order.
Yes, your point of order, please.
Mr. Speaker, foreign members, my name is Mohammed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marche Monguno, Nganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. Mr. Speaker, the amendment moved by Honorable Luke is a nullity and an exercise in futility. Because based on the Petroleum Industry Act that this House has passed, DPR is now defunct. In the course of moving his amendment, he referred to DPR. DPR is now a non-existent body, while NNPC is now a limited liability company. It has no power to do that. So that motion is a nullity.
It has no power to do what?
It has no power to do what he sought for NNPC to do in the amendment that he has.
What was the power? What was the Honorable Luke speaking? Sorry, I was distracted. What was
Yes,
Honorable?
to control the establishment of modular refineries, grand acreages, and what have you. NNPC is a limited liability company. It's not, that jurisdiction is not within NNPC now, based on the PIA that we have passed. And based on the PIA that we have passed, there is no DPR. DPR is now defunct. The functions of DPR has been taken by the commission, and he referred to those bodies. So that motion is a nullity and it's an exercise in futility. It should not be taken.
Honorable Luke.
The secondment made by Honorable Tony is equally an exercise in futility. It goes to nothing. You cannot put something and nothing and expect it to start. It is bad and it is incurably bad.
So you are saying Honorable Toby was seconding a nullity?
Yes.
So both the
Put something on nothing and expect it
in Borno State. If I remember correctly, you were the Attorney General.
This file has been making for you since.
Let it come back. I need to let it.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the amendment we did, and then maybe by the repeal of the NNPC Act, with the coming of PIA, there was what we call transitory provisions. That transfers the powers that DPR had. It's just a change of nomenclature. Mr. Speaker, there is powers in NNPC liability. There is powers in upstream regulatory commission to be able to do the things that the former bodies used to do. The powers to grant licensing. So whichever agency today, Mr. Speaker, that has the powers to grant licensing for modular refineries, those powers did not go with the repeal of the NNPC. The transitory powers in the repeal act were transferred to the PIA. And so it is under the authority of the PIA that I'm standing on the authority of the PIA to say that the regulatory agency responsible for granting licensing for operation of modular refineries should grant licensing for operation of modular refineries. Mr. Speaker, those are my humble submissions.
So you want to rephrase your amendment?
I have already done it, sir.
Point of order. What's your point of order?
I represent the tax board by those federal constituency from the state. Mr. Speaker, I want to stand on the other, on the position raised by the Malanet senior here. The truth about the matter is this: you cannot place something on nothing and expect it to stand. The argument that it is a nullity remains very valid. What Malanet brother is saying here is that the power NSPC used to have remain, not the power you want to confer on them now. What he's saying now is to confer power on them. The moment you make this position here, is conferring a new power on them. No, it's only the power they had before that can continue by the new agencies created. You cannot give power to a non-existing body now. The power the NSPC has before, yes, it can transit to the new body created by the law. But to make a new law, giving power to non-existing body, is a nullity.
No, but what he said he has tried to cure that defect by saying that whoever, whatever agency.
Mr. Speaker, no. It has to be very specific. If it is the law before, the law as it is, whoever is having that power can continue. But we cannot be making law in retrospect now. We'll be making law for a non-existing body.
You are saying he has to be specific as to the agency.
As to the agency.
So you are arguing that his amendment is vague.
It's vague.
It's vague.
Yes, it's not placed. It's trying to put something on nothing.
Is there a rule? Is there a provision in our rules that say amendments must be specific?
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, one of the cardinal principles of law is that the law must be specific. We cannot be making law for a non-existing body. The power those bodies had before can continue, but to stand there and be mentioning a name of a body that is not in existence in our law is a nullity. It's an attempt to place something on nothing.
You know that this thing does not qualify as a matter of argument.
Honorable Toby, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, as per our rules and practice, when a member of the House gets up to speak to a point of order or raises a point of order, there has to be some reference to that order so that the speaker will be properly guided. The last speaker was actually on a frolic of discussion, and there wasn't any point of order he was speaking to. But I believe, Mr. Speaker, there is form, which is things as established. There is also the substantial issue of trying to do justice to the Federation. My understanding of what Luke mentioned was the need for government to facilitate modular refineries. Because modular refineries that we expose as people to suit is subjecting our people to perdition. Anything that encourages that, and there are licenses for modular refineries, we should activate those licenses. You don't have a license and you are not activating, you should also be put to relieved of it. There must be a relevant government organ that should guide the establishment of refineries. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, we must also appreciate what the governor of Rivers State has done, taking the bull by the horn. Without his intervention, this exposure to cancer, exposure or the absence of federal government being able responsive and responsible to do their job wouldn't have been put to notice. He is filling a vacuum. What the governor of Rivers State is doing is to fill a vacuum.
What vacuum is he filling?
The vacuum is filling is that you have federal government agencies, security agencies.
You are ruled out of order.
Aiding and abetting.
Honorable,
the abuse of our citizens.
Honorable Toby, you see, the problem is this. You see, when we inject and introduce partisanship on a very important matter, this was important. The issue of illegal refineries was important, and that's why he was brought in to bring the motion. But as a seasoned legislator, you may be spoiling your case now by saying somebody has come in to fulfill. It might be spoiling your case. The important thing is to allow this amendment, which I agree with, Honorable Luke's amendment, to go through, because the argument for me now is the question of form over substance. That's the argument Honorable the Chief Whip is making. Form over substance. The substance of Honorable Luke's amendment is let them grant licenses for modular refineries so that the issue of illegal operations will cease. But I agree with the honorable gentleman from Ekiti, Olariwaju, and the Chief Whip that who is going to do that? So he has rephrased it. That's why I say form over substance. So he has rephrased his amendment, and if I may read, urge the midstream downstream regulatory authority to grant licenses for the establishment of modular refineries and support their establishment. Honorable Chief Whip, are you comfortable with that? 100%, good. Honorable Toby, without injecting politics, can you second that amendment?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm happy to second the substantial, the prevailing of substance over form and the amendment moved by Mr. Luke. But the reality is reality. Thank you very much. I so second.
Let's take this first amendment first. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Siaka, what's your amendment?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Rep. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, Ifo, Iweko Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State. Thank you for granting me the floor. I want to amend Honorable Luke's amendment. Already, because this has been an issue over the past years.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I want to add.
Silence, please. Silence, please.
I want to review the amendment granted by Honorable Luke. Already we have 52 licenses as at date granted to different organizations in the country for modular refineries, so that we don't mislead ourselves on this argument. So the amendment is that to to review the licenses, existing licenses, and if possible, to withdraw from those who are not utilizing the licenses and support those who are ready to utilize the licenses. That's the amendment I want to have to his amendment, Mr. Speaker. There are 52 existing already.
So how do we marry those two amendments? The two amendments are the same, but you are going beyond to say there are already 52.
52.
One presupposes that there is not enough, and you are saying that there is enough, but that some are not even utilizing the license.
Yes,
so how do we, let's couch that amendment properly, and so that the two amendments, do you understand what I'm saying?
I do, sir.
His amendment should stand, but you can bring your amendment in line, in view of what he has amended, and tweak it a little bit. Honorable Toby, you have a...
As I've said earlier, Mr. Speaker, it is not that if we have 200, there are too many. But the 52 existing, they are not even using them. So just to say, instead of saying granting more licenses, to review the existing licenses, that's to fall in line with his own, and where possible, that's to add to the existing ones.
Point of order, Honorable Sadasoli.
Order 10, Rule 2, relevance of amendment. An amendment proposed to any amendment shall only be in order if it be relevant to the amendment. With the reference to his amendment, it's not actually irrelevant to the amendment that was made by Honorable Luke. So I don't think we should even try to make an attempt to redefine his amendment because it's not relevant.
Honorable Toby, I hope you are listening to the point of order.
Yes.
So, can you repeat that point of order? Because I'm not sure I actually agree with you, but go ahead. Let's listen very carefully so that we can make a good decision. Yeah.
An amendment proposed to any amendment shall only be in order if it be relevant to that amendment, to his amendment. So if we accept his amendment, in the first instance, he is saying that he is requesting for license. He is not requesting for license. So he said we have enough. So it's completely irrelevant to the actual amendment that we are dealing with on the floor.
I think,
so,
Honorable...
but he can come on substantive motion.
I may be wrong, but I think Honorable Isiaka's motion is very relevant to that amendment, because that amendment deals with establishment of modular refineries. So the subject matter is modular refineries. The subject matter is the establishment or granting of licenses for modular refineries. Now he now brings a further amendment which falls squarely on his amendment, which is the same thing as modular refineries and granting of licenses. So it's absolutely, in my opinion, very relevant to, because how relevant can it be if that one is not relevant to that? Then we can never have any relevant amendment to an amendment. What he's saying is that his amendment falls short of what is on ground. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think it's relevant. I don't know, Honorable Toby. Honorable Toby, yes.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Wojiro Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Speaker, I think that the two amendments can actually stand on their own. They can also go together. First and foremost, the subject matter is modular refineries. Two is to abate the exposure of our citizens to pollution. But more importantly is that this Isiaka's motion is asking for a review of government actions on the same modular refineries. His action is the facilitation of modular refineries to those who are competent to do so by government agencies. He can move his own, this can stand. If we want to combine them, we ask the relevant agency to review previous licenses as well as grant licenses to competent companies that are fit for purpose.
So, yes, I think, Honorable Isiaka, the way you can, I think, phrase your amendment that can stand side by side with this, you can just add two words like, further to the earlier amendment, the social should also review and whatever it is you're saying. So further, so those two can work together instead of deleting one for the other. You can go either way. So that we don't upset Honorable Luke, let's
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Rep. Ibrahim Arakuni Isiaka, Ifo Federal Constituency of the State. Distinguished honorable members, thank you for the robust debate on this subject matter. I'd actually, Mr. Speaker, appoint Honorable Luke, but because of the comments, so he overlooked, he didn't quite get me. He would have moved it as part of his amendment. In this wise, Mr. Speaker, that's run-on line, subject to the amendment moved by Honorable Luke, that the existing licenses for modular refinery should be reviewed to enable either cancellation or renewal or additional licenses.
Very good. So his own is to grant new licenses. Yours is to review existing licenses.
Yes, sir.
So Honorable Luke's amendment stands. Funny enough, Honorable Sada Sole also now becomes, is no longer valid because it's not about the relevance anymore. You are bringing a motion on its own. That's basically what he was saying. You are bringing a new prayer, a new amendment on its own. So seconder to Honorable Sada, can you second Honorable Isiaka's amendment? Ever second Honorable Isiaka's new amendment?
In the opinion of Mr. Speaker, the amendment of Mr. Speaker, my name is Sada Soli Jibia.
Yeah.
I represent Jibia Kaita Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion moved for amendment by Honorable Isiaka. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. All's well that ends well. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Vincent, you have another amendment. We've spent 1 hour on this motion.
Amendment.
We spent 1 hour on this motion.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes.
Speaker, please.
Leader of the House wants to say something. Well, hold on. Let the leader.
Vincent, can you take your seat, please? With your red cap, sit down. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, Dodogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Dogwa, Tudunwada Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I wanted really to address, when I saw Honorable Vincent coming up again on another amendment, I was trying to seek the indulgence of the chair and the members to draw our attention, Mr. Speaker, to the fact that, yes, when we have businesses, other businesses on the order paper, which are equally important, we must always try and exhaust those basic businesses on the order paper. We have taken too much time on this particular motion. Mr. Speaker, with due respect to the chair, your opinion is always right. The position of the chair is always should be the position of the House. After all, the rules of the House has accorded you the right to interpret our rules. Your right to interpretations is your exclusive reserve. So having been accepted the fact that yes, the matter was urgent enough, I think we have taken enough time for that bill. We should go ahead and look at other items on the business of the day. What we have done today, Mr. Speaker, my leader, what we have done today, Mr. Speaker, with due respect to your professional background, you have even turned this legislative house to a judicial chamber. where learned people took charge of the business of the house, making arguments that were supposed to make arguments before juries.
Jealousy, the jealousy of not being a learned man and being a journalist does not is not going to help you.
Mr. Speaker,
Your profession is just as important as a journalist. It's just as noble.
Mr. Speaker,
But if you want to be a lawyer, you can go to law school.
Mr. Speaker,
Yeah, even for, you see, it's like you're taking the time of the house.
Mr. Speaker, I want to put it to my colleagues that when next we have business like this, we should operate legislatively. Any judicial address, any professional address or order should be reserved in the court, please, and not on the legislative chamber of the House of Representatives.
I agree with the leader of the house that we should be mindful of time. Very, very important. And he's absolutely right. But in being mindful of time, we must not sacrifice thoroughness on the altar of time. It's a delicate balance, and we must try and strike that balance. Dwelling on the emotion truly for 30 minutes or 1 hour is not good enough unless the issues are important. Unless the issues are important. So let's bear that in mind, what the leader's observation. Honorable, since I've already observed Honorable Vincent, we'll just allow you, but when the motion that is straightforward goes through 3-4 amendments, you are watering it down. Go ahead.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, my colleagues. And my leader, I remain Vincent Ekene Efumere. I represent to UIM and Federal Constituency from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, my amendment reads to set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the activities of the illegal refineries in Niger Delta.
Ad hoc committee?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No, don't sit yet. Your amendment is to move for an ad hoc committee
To be set up.
for illegal refineries.
To investigate.
Refineries are they under any committee of this house? Are they? It's a very rhetorical question, but I'm asking it. Are refineries under any committee of this house?
Generally, they are.
We have a specific standing committee that handles refineries. So what will be the justification for setting up an ad hoc committee when we already have a standing committee that deals with refineries? I want you to persuade me. So maybe you have a reason.
My reason is because this is a special work, an assignment that will be given to the committee. The other committee is the standing committee, Mr. Speaker.
No, I think we'll stay with the standing committee, and let's refer it to the standing committee. Let's refer it to the standing committee. The other committees are supposed to be special committees when the occasion of there's a genuine reason for setting up an ad hoc committee. Maybe there's a conflict of interest, or it doesn't touch on the jurisdiction of a standing committee. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, I make reference to one of the prayers. That's the last prayer where it says, mandate the relevant House committees to ensure compliance and report back to the House. I would rather suggest that we ask the committees on host communities, environment, and downstream to ensure compliance.
I think that's too many committees.
Okay.
Maybe it really should be the downstream. So host and downstream should be good enough. Because when you talk about 3 committees, you're talking about 100 and something members. So the host committees and the host committee and the downstream committee. Honorable John Deere, do you want to second, please? Honorable John Deere, you are still with us, right? You know what I mean, but you are still with us. Yes. Yeah, a member of the House? What platform?
PDP.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, Dr. John Jay is my name. That is not a tradition. Dr. John Jay is my
John
name.
Day representing
Boko Taka Federal Constituency.
what party?
Is that a convention, Your Excellency?
What party?
I said that is not a convention, Your Excellency. I've not seen, it's not in our rule books where you stand up to. Amendment, Your Excellency.
All right, no problem. Those in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Those in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Bagos, please, what's your motion? That will be the last motion of urgent public impact. We've wasted so much time. Honorable Gumi had a motion and Honorable Kuye. We'll take it tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I'm Dacho Musa Bagos, representing the good, great people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency from Plateau State. Mr. Speaker, I'm standing on moving for a motion of urgent public importance on the high rate of kidnapping in Jos South and Plateau State with the recent kidnapping of a paramount ruler, Gomre of Wang Daigyang Balak. So I seek the leave of the House to suspend our relevant rules to enable me to take this motion.
Honorable Sampson, please second.
My name is Honorable Samson Oku, member representing Odu of the Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable.
You don't know who moved it?
Honorable.
You don't know who moved the motion?
By Honorable Bagos.
Okay.
Mr. Speaker, so second.
All right. Did you hear what Honorable Chinda said? Honorable Bagos, move your motion. Or rather, those in favor of the motion as it's urgent, that it's urgent, please say aye. Those against it, say nay. Ayes have it. Please move your motion. I don't think you press your. No, you have to. All right.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Dacho Musa Bagos, representing the good, great people of Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency from Plateau State. The House notes that the issue of insecurity, kidnapping, and payment of huge ransom to secure the release of victims have become a nightmare in the society. Aware that this issue of kidnapping is on the alarming rise in Plateau State, and particularly my constituency, Jos South, Jos East Federal Constituency. Aware that on Sunday, the 16th January 2022, at about 8 p.m., the paramount ruler, the Gomre of Wang Daigyang Balak, was adopted around the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies in Kuru community while driving home. He is now the second traditional ruler kidnapped in Plateau State within 2 months. Also aware, the issue of kidnapping has become a day-to-day routine, with kidnappers placing huge demand of ransom on family, friends, and communities of their victims in order to secure the release of the said victims. concerned that in this digital era, where tracking ought to be made easy due to the synchronizing of national identity number with phone numbers, yet the perpetrators of the inhumane act continue to communicate with victims' family via phone, yet go untraceable and free. Also concerned that unfortunately both traditional rulers who are custodians of the people and citizens are now target of kidnappers. The House resolved to mandate the Inspector General of Police to investigate kidnap of the traditional rulers in Plateau State and report back to the House Committee on Police Affairs within 2 weeks. Prosecute and bring perpetrators to justice. Mandate the federal government institutions like the National Veterinary Research Institute, NVRI, VOM, and National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, around the Jos South local government to install street lights within their surroundings with surveillance cameras, seeing that it is around their institutions that most kidnapping usually take place. Mandate the Inspector General of Police to equip the community police with walkie-talkie radio to enhance communication among community police officials to aid rescue operations among themselves. Mandate all security agencies to flush out kidnappers within those areas. I so move, Mr. Speaker and honorable colleagues.
Honorable Secretary.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Priye Oseke, representing Southern Niger Federal Constituency. I'm from Bayelsa State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by Honorable Bagos. I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. First order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to repeal the National War College Act. Point of order. Okay, Honorable Taiwo.
Honorable Speaker, respected colleagues, Taiwo Oluga is my name. I'm from Osun State, and I speak on behalf of all the people of Irewole Federal Constituency. So, Speaker, I stand on Order 8, Rule 5 for my personal explanation to congratulate the new NNPC chairman in person of Senator Margaret Okadibo. It's an addition to us and it's a celebration worth. And we think it is good as one of us in this assembly, National Assembly, to celebrate her coming on board as the new chairman of NNPC Nigeria. And at the same time to thank Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for appointing a woman for the first time, bringing her as the chairman of that sensitive board to rule. And I want to assure the House, all the issue of this modulated refineries and others, that now that we have a woman at the helm of affairs there, that is going to be a thing of the past. So, therefore, I submit, Mr. Speaker, that we congratulate her for the appointment, Senator Margaret Okadibo, and we celebrate the appointment. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Taiwo Oluga. Honorable Taiwo Oluga has congratulated Honorable Magnus Abbey and also the President for appointing, for being gender friendly. Thank you. The first order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to repeal the National War College Act, Cap N 82, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the National Defense College Bill. And for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Aminu Ashirumani, all members recall that the bill was read first time on Wednesday, 8 December 2020, and now invite Honorable Mani to move that the bill be read a second time.
Galadima, please allow the speaker, please. Allow the speaker. You are distracting the proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable members, I am Aminu Ashurmani, member representing Bindamani. Mr. Speaker, I am from Katsina State. Sir, Mr. Speaker, after careful inquiries, I would like to step down the bill for further consultations. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Mani is not ready to move ahead with the bill and is stepping it down for further consultation. No. I mean that in the best way possible. No.
Mr. Speaker.
No. There's nothing. It's the right thing to do. I've done that several times.
Mr.
Nothing
Speaker.
wrong with that. He's not withdrawing it. He's stepping down for further consultation.
Yes, sir. And it's normal.
So why is Honorable Elumelu laughing?
It's normal.
Mischief.
Mr. Speaker.
Well done, Honorable Mani. Yes.
What Honorable Mani sought for is normal within legislative.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Other legislative consultations.
It's normal. It's Honorable Elumelu that's trying to make something out of it.
I'm sure Elumelu was only laughing coincidentally, not laughing at the action of Honorable Mani. Yes.
Real step down. The second order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principle of a bill for an act to establish Federal Capital Territory Compensation, Resettlement and Welfare Board with primary aim of raising funds to resettle all original inhabitants occupying developed areas within the FCT and for further resettlement projects and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Gaza Jonathan. Honorable members, we recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 8 December 2021, and now invite Honorable Gwefi to move that the bill be read a second time.
Right Honorable Speaker, esteemed colleagues, my name is Gaza Jonathan Gwefi, and I rise to move a motion for a bill for an act to establish the FCT Compensation Resettlement Board with the primary aim of raising funds to resettle all original inhabitants occupying developed areas within the Federal Capital City, and also for further resettlement projects and for other related matters. Mr. Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, permit me to lead a debate on this very important bill to establish the FCT Compensatory Resettlement and Welfare Board. This bill was read for the first time on Tuesday, 7 December 2021. Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, over decades now, development in...
Okay, somebody needs to second the bill first.
Oh, sorry. I so move.
Your microphone. Yes. Get Dairu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Musa Umar Garu, member representing Gorzakawa Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion ably moved by Honorable Jonathan Gaza. I so second.
Honorable Gaza, do you mind if we just put the question? Because of time constraint. Okay. Those in favor of Honorable Gaza's bill be ready second time, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. Clerk. Long title.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to establish Federal Capital Territory FCT Compensation, Resettlement and Welfare Board with the primary aim of raising funds to resettle all original inhabitants occupying developed areas within the FCT and for further resettlement projects and for related matters. Second reading.
Refer to the Committee on Federal Capital Territory. The third order of the day is a motion on devastating effects of deforestation in Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Kolawole Lawal. Honorable Lawal is invited to move the motion. Is Honorable Lawal around? Motion step down. The fourth order of the day is a motion on urgent need to rehabilitate the Saminaka Magama Gumau Highway, standing in the name of Honorable Muda Lawal. Honorable Umar Lawal is invited to move the motion. Yeah, Honorable Muda, go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Muda Lawal Umar. I represent Toro Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Bauchi State. I rise to move a motion on the urgent need to rehabilitate the Saminaka Magama Gumau Highway in Toro Federal Constituency. The House notes that the 91-kilometer Saminaka Magama Gumau Road links Kaduna State, Bauchi State, and other states within the Northeast Zone, as it facilitates the transportation of farm produce as well as other products and services among Kaduna, Jos, Bauchi, Abuja, and other states of the country. Concerned that due to the current dilapidated state of the road, commuters conveying goods and farm produce are robbed and or kidnapped every week, sometimes resulting in the deaths of innocent persons and loss of properties. Worried that the deplorable condition of the road has caused untold hardships for the people who rely on it for transportation of their goods and other services as it has disrupted their daily economic activities. Cognizant that if nothing is done urgently to rehabilitate the road, it will continue to pose threats to the lives of commuters, thereby hampering agricultural and economic activities in the area and the nations at large. Resolved to urge the Federal Road Maintenance Agency to commence immediate rehabilitation of the Saminaka Magama Highway to prevent further deterioration. Mandates the Committee on FEMA to ensure compliance. I so submit.
Honorable Muraino, please second.
Thank you, our Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Dr. Ajibola Muraina. I represent Barakwa Central, Barakwa North Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Oyo State. Right Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues, I second the motion as ably moved by my honorable colleague. I so second, sir.
Thank you. It's an infrastructure motion brought by Honorable Muda Lawal. We'll put the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. Ayes have it. The fifth order of the day is motion on need to investigate the incidences of fake insurance certificates in Nigeria. Standing in the name of Honorable Oluyemi Adewale Taiwo, Honorable Taiwo is invited to move the motion.
Mr. Speaker, Honorable Taiwo is not on the floor. I move that the motion be stepped down by the leader of the House.
Motion step down. The sixth order of the day is a motion on need to construct the perimeter fence at Federal University of Technology, Owerri, standing in the name of Honorable Pascal Obi. Honorable Obi is invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, my honorable colleagues. Mr. Speaker, I'm Honorable Dr. Pascal Chigozie Obi. I represent the very great people of Idato North, Idato South Federal Constituency. I'm from Imo State, the Eastern Heartland. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move this motion on the need to construct perimeter fence at Federal University of Technology, Owerri. Mr. Speaker, the House notes that the elegance of a teaching and learning environment, such as a university community, draws largely from a secured, protected, preserved environment and a good landscape. The House further notes that a university in the 21st century, desirous of positive global acknowledgement and endorsement, must, in addition to the pursuit of academic and technological excellence, be committed to the security and serenity of the university community and its environment. The House is aware that the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, pioneered the existence of such federal universities of science and technology in Nigeria as established in 1980 by the Shehu Shagari administration. The House is cognizant that the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, has in its existence championed exceptional advancement of knowledge of science and technology with global partnership and collaboration. The House is concerned that the increasing cases of hostilities arising from land demarcation and other boundary challenges between the university community and the host communities of Ihiagwa, Eziobodo, Obinze, and Avu are consequences of absence of beautifully secured environment through perimeter fencing, with the attendant security challenges on the staff and students, as well as on the teaching and learning. The House is cognizant that hostilities and insecurities have remained in the increase in the last 12 years due to struggle by the original landowners to reclaim part of the areas of the land for agriculture and other purposes, including building residential houses. The House is therefore most humbly urged to resolve as follows. 1, to urge the federal government to prioritize the construction of perimeter fence for the Federal University of Technology, Owerri, in the 2023 budget estimate. 2, also urge the Federal Ministry of Education and other relevant ministries, departments, and agencies to commence immediate demarcation of the land area covering the university community through fresh survey plans and other geophysical activities to halt further encroachment. 3, further urge the federal government to collaborate with the Imo State government in the drive to promote good neighborliness amongst the university community and the original landowners through proper land identification and demarcation. 4, to mandate the Committee on Tertiary Education and Services to ensure implementation. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Honorable Oluchidoka. 1 second. Not sure what's your...
In Idemili North, Idemili South Federal Constituency of Anambra State, I rise this afternoon to second the very important motion ably moved by my colleague and brother, Right Honorable Pascal Obi. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Galadima. Honorable Yao Galadima, your time is off. Idemili.
Are we putting the question? Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. The seventh order, okay, yes, the seventh order of the day is consideration of a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of National Institute for Border Studies in Ogun State, to provide for teaching, research, instructions, and training of students in border management and for related matters. Other members will recall that the bill was committed to the Committee of the Whole on Tuesday, 30th of November 2021. The House Leader will move for its consideration. House Leader. Who does it? Chairman, Business, and I understand, I've just been told by the clerk that the report for this bill is not ready, so we may have to step it down.
So I don't have to, let me not act in futility.
No, don't act in futility. It will be an exercise in futility. So we're stepping it down, huh? They said that the clerk just told me the report is, they don't have it.
So, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I hope that this motion be stepped down by the House as well.
Thank you. Motion step down. I think that's it for today. The Leader of the House, please move that this House stand adjourned till tomorrow.
Thank you. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my brother, the leader of the few. Dodogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I represent the good people of Dogwa, Tudunwada Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, by your leave and the leave of the House, I rise to move that this House stands adjourned till Wednesday, the 19th day of January 2022 by 11 a.m. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Honorable Elumelu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elumelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Federal Constituency. I'm from Delta State. I rise to second the motion moved by the House Leader that will do adjourn till tomorrow, 19th of January 2022. I so second.
Mr. Speaker, these two members around me are acting in futility. The two members are acting.
They are in futility. They want something, right?
Yes.
But it's an exercise in futility.
But I will report to you.
Huh?
I will report the matter to you. So that it will be in futility. Yes.
No. No, he cannot act in futility. No. He cannot act in futility. If he doesn't answer you, you see me.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you.
If the leader does not answer you, you see me. So those in favor that this House start adjourned till tomorrow, 11 a.m., please say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. See you all at 11 tomorrow. Minority Leader, you can now go where you want to go.
The list, the names.
Are you compiling it?
No, we started work already.